What's up, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs? Welcome to your September monthly tarot reading. We're going to talk about love, relationships, money, career, finances, and anything else that wants to come through. Please come into the reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to learn something to better yourself. If the messages that come through don't resonate, feel free to push them aside. You may choose to revisit them at a different day. Sometimes tarot messages make more sense in the future. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. Let's try and have some fun and get you some insightful messages. I'm going back to an old style I used to do, a way of reading, so we'll see what's in it. Hopefully some of you guys will like it. Hopefully the messages will resonate. All right, let's do it for Virgo. I highly recommend watching your rising sign. This is catered more towards that, but I am going to be saying Virgo throughout the reading, so however you resonate with that. Okay, so let's see. 8 of Pentacles, I like that. It seems like you've reached some sort of standstill though, like you were making progress on something, and now you're second guessing yourself. Gosh, you have a lot of 5s. 5s and 8s. 5 and 8, 58. Is that number significant? Or 5 and 8? You will find clarity though, but you're going to need to think outside the box. There's something that requires you to be more creative in however you're choosing to be solution oriented, I guess. Thinking outside the box is my best advice to you there. I think you're going to be happy with the end result, particularly if this is a work matter or something, even if it's something that you do for fun or for hobby, for sport, however you want to say it. It does end well, but you seem to be, kind of like a little bit stuck in the process. You started off with lots of like verve and energy and enthusiasm. It does end up sort of in the kind of Wheel of Fortune, King of Cups vibe, so I do like that very much. See what can I get on this? It might be just that it's very overwhelming. With it being opposed by the Wheel of Fortune, I'm looking at your 8 of Pentacles card to start, which is a very strong card. It's actually one of my favorite cards. I always say with the 8 of Pentacles, it's important to identify with the work you do. And sort of this idea of putting yourself into your work. You know how jokingly sometimes artists will say when they finish a piece, it's almost like they gave birth to it. That's sort of what I'm getting from this, Virgo. Whether it's for your career or not, there's some sort of project where it's with the Wheel of Fortune, it's just maybe endless. Maybe there's no set or firm timeline, which I'm almost getting might make you more comfortable. Or it's the idea that it's just so overwhelming, like you don't know where to start, or you've sort of gone down a rabbit hole and realized, oh my gosh, there's a million different ways I could go with this. The 8 of Swords to me is saying don't get too caught up in your head because it's essentially sort of not going to be helpful to you. The 8 of Swords is all about our mind and our focus and our clarity, but she wears a blindfold, right? Because the answers she seeks need to come from within. If we get too hell-bent on getting, attention or advice or recognition from those around us, it's not going to be helpful. It's going to be to our detriment. So trust that you do know the answer. And the good thing about the 8 of Swords is they are representing your own thoughts. So they are reversible. You can change them. So I wouldn't get too nervous about things not going right. I do see a little bit of a speed bump. Something about this may cost more than you originally had planned, especially a home project of some sort may cost a lot more than you had hoped for. But again, I really do want to emphasize it leads with 6 of Swords, or it ends with 6 of Swords, King of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. That to me is like a very positive, like, hey, now we're moving along. Now we get it. So yeah, hang tough, hang in there. Don't give up. Let's see. And then some of you are dreaming of a trip or travel. Who isn't, right? Which would be some sort of reunion, something very fun. It could possibly be with family. It doesn't have to be, but it could be just a group of friends getting together. Let's see here. But there seems to be like one person who's sort of and I'm hearing the word like hindrance. There's one person who's like not on board and maybe making it difficult for the others to go on this trip or this little travel expedition, whatever it is, this reunion. Now, why is that? Let's see. It might be because of money issues. I don't know. I get that someone in your friends group is feeling really defensive, or on the defense, or feeling like they're being put under a microscope, or there's like unwanted attention on somebody in the group. Yeah, I don't know. I think it has to do with money. There's also this theme comes up in tarot all the time. The idea of like your bank account, the number sitting in that little account, that imaginary number, right, does not equal your self-worth or your how much you should value yourself, right? Those two do not coincide or shouldn't, right? Those are two very different things. I'm thinking this is someone in your network or, again, group of friends. I don't necessarily think it's you, Virgo, but maybe you need the reminder. I don't know. This idea of sort of self-sabotaging, like not feeling like you're, I say you, again, I think it's a friend, but not feeling like someone is in a good place because of their financial situation or their job situation. Or just maybe not feeling a sense of security. I'm sort of hearing the idea of like chakra work in meditation. So I think that would be maybe working on your root chakra, your idea of like safety and security and groundedness. Just putting it out there. Let me see what else I can get on this message. So are we going to travel? Let's see. I think it's going to be postponed or delayed, but I do think it's going to happen. Some of you may actually be going on like a romantic getaway too. I'm sort of getting a funny message of like under the guise of quote unquote work, like in quotation marks, like, oh yeah, it's a work trip or it's a business trip, but really it's not. It's like, but it's like a cute little secret you have. Like, I don't know if you had to like kind of pull some strings to get time off work, but it's like, yeah, for some of you, there's like a cute little getaway with your sweetheart or your person, your husband, wife, whoever you're dating. And I like that. That seems beautiful. We have kind of Jupiter sort of highlighting that to me. So it's a really good time for you to be able to express yourself authentically. And yeah, that's just seems like a cozy coupling. So I do like that very much. So since we kind of transitioned to the dating thing, I feel like I didn't give you justice on that last message though, of like, I guess the message is I see traveling with a romantic partner. I think the group may pare itself down. I don't think it's going to be the big group you thought it was, but it's still going to be fun nonetheless. In terms of like the friend who's kind of being difficult, and I don't know, I don't think they're trying to be difficult. I think it's sort of become a consistent theme is what I'm getting. It might be a Sagittarius or a Cancer. It doesn't have to be. But yeah, there's someone who's just like, they're always like down on their luck or like Debbie Downer type energy. And you're trying to lift them up. You're trying to support them. But there's a little bit of just like, she can't come again, or she doesn't want to leave the house again. He or she, right? And I don't mean to put this person down. They have my sympathy because clearly they're going through some stuff. It's this weird dynamic of they feel very isolated, but they also are not a joiner. So it's almost like their biggest fear they're manifesting anyway, if that makes sense. Like not feeling included, but then you include them and they choose not to participate. Yeah. This person feels better about themselves when they are working and feel like they're contributing. But again, there's this skewed perspective that when you're not working, you're still valid. You should still be able to enjoy life and take some time off and be with friends. I feel like they feel like they're a step behind everyone else. Like they missed the mark, or do you know what I mean? Like they're the one in the friends group who's on a different path and they're taking that as defeat. Versus just understanding, hey, I'm on a different path and this is how my life went. And no, I'm not in the same place financially or career-wise or relationship-wise. But again, that doesn't make me less than. It just makes me who I am. It makes me an individual. I don't know why this is coming up so strongly, but it is. And maybe it's you, Virgo. Maybe you needed to hear this. But some of you, I think you're being reminded to be sympathetic to this person's situation rather than going into sort of a judgmental, like, why are they always being difficult and blah, blah, blah. Because it's really, it's not about them trying to be difficult. This person just can't get out of their own way. So practice kindness. I will say practice good boundaries, right? I think that's important, where if this person is constantly letting you down, then, you know, you don't need to invite them every time, right? It's that type of, although part of me is like, I think you should, because their worst fear is not being included, but they don't come anyway. So it's complicated. It's very complicated. You might be dealing with another Virgo as well. But I will say, even if it's a best friend, it doesn't have to be a romantic couple. I do see a very fun trip or travel in your near future. So let's talk a little bit more about dating. You have the Wheel of Fortune here, which I really love. So expansion in a current relationship, or the idea of, I'm hearing the word windfall. So like something coming in, possibly unexpectedly. That's possible. Someone who's maybe creative, or an artist, or a musician, or someone who's very intuitive and empathic, even maybe psychic. Yeah, who loves to travel. Travel is like a big theme right now. And someone who doesn't, I don't know why this is coming through, but it's important. Someone who doesn't hold you hostage for who you used to be. Or I didn't say that right, but someone who doesn't judge you on your past. It's almost like you can be very open and honest with them, even about things that maybe you're a little bit embarrassed or ashamed of or feel self-conscious of. And this person doesn't judge you. It's almost like they help you to remove the guilt, or there's something very healing and therapeutic about this relationship. I like that very much. This person has a cool jacket that they wear. They have like a cool leather jacket, or whatever you deem as cool. It doesn't have to be a leather jacket. Or like, they have like a signature piece they wear. It's like they wear the same flannel, or they wear the same leather jacket, or they wear the same, I don't know what it is, but it's almost like, it almost is like a uniform. Like they wear it quite a bit, but it's something that just, it's their natural way of dress. It's like they're just the clothing they enjoy. Some of you are going to have, this is so random, but some of you are going to have an issue with like a heater or something about heat. Obviously, that's not going to make sense for everyone out there, but there's something about like needing to stay warm, or even maybe like an unexpected power outage. There's a reason to have like candles on hand, or I don't know, a space heater, or I'm not sure what it is. It's either like electrical or just something unexpected. I don't think it's a huge thing, but I don't think you see it coming. So now you do, right? And I don't say that to make you worry and freak out, right? Some of you, it's like your intuition already knew it was time to replace that, bulb or whatever. So yeah, I would, especially if you're going on a trip or with travel, make sure you bring a warm coat just in case. Or it could be something like where you get stranded at the side of the road and you're there for a few hours. So it's like, have some snacks on hand, or have a coat or a blanket or something, be prepared, which I don't usually have to tell my Virgo people anyway, right? You guys are always prepared. All right, let's see. Some of you are waiting on some sort of loan or I'm hearing application. So it might not be for a loan. I feel like you're going to end up going a different route if that's the case. If you're waiting on money from a external party to pay you for something, I don't know if it's a loan or a payout or whatever it is, there's some sort of conclusion or finality coming to that, but I feel like it's actually going to send you in a different direction. And I don't want that to be disappointing to you guys, because it has to do with divine timing. It wasn't meant to be, if that makes sense. In terms of applying to some sort of program or school, I think that's going to go well. I just don't think the money is attached to it. So it could be that you're applying for financial aid to go to whatever, some sort of art school or whatever, fill in the blank, or a business loan to open your own shop. Like, you're going to open your own shop, you're going to go to the school, you're going to do the thing, but the money might not be there if it's coming from an external source. There will be another opportunity to apply for some sort of loan or grant, but there's a waiting period. So I wouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. Be open-minded. Again, you have a lot of positive cards coming through here. So don't get discouraged by that message. Again, there's a theme in your reading of there's multiple routes you could take. Again, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't, I hate using the word don't in a tarot reading. It just feels so negative, but I would advise you to maybe know that there are alternate routes. And so don't be hell-bent on one final, or I'm hearing the word finality, some like fixed ending or fixed opportunity or fixed outcome. Sorry, outcome is the word I'm looking for. Something else will present itself, and you're going to know when to strike when the iron's hot. So if it's not feeling hot, if it's not feeling like the right one, then maybe don't waste your time. Or if it's something that you can like apply for casually, but not, get your hopes up. That's sort of a message coming through here. In terms of money, what else can I tell you? Let's see. Careful with spending more money on old projects, or careful with spending more money on things from the past, especially Venus is going to be out of retrograde. Let's see. I think it's September 3rd, so that's fairly soon. But there's going to be some squares and oppositions to Venus, so I don't know. I just think spending money on old projects, it's not advised. It's like the same issues keep happening. It's like putting money into something that instead of just fixing it, like it needs to be replaced. That's a really important message for a lot of you guys. Someone in your family might ask you to borrow some money. Someone in your family might be in some sort of bind or tricky situation. If there's a family trip, it's like a family member needs you to help cover the cost of their ticket or something, because they're sort of in a bind with money. And I mean, I'm not sure you're in a place to be lending tons of people money. I don't see you in a bad place with money. It seems kind of average. But there's like awkward conversations about money, and that's consistent too. It's like awkward conversations for people who maybe are asking to borrow money from you. And the thing is, it's for a good reason, in that, like, friends need to borrow money or family need to borrow money because you guys want to all do this thing together and it's going to be so fun. And so again, I would caution you, don't let your heart get the better of you. Like, it's not fair that you have to foot everybody's bill. That's just not realistic, right? Again, boundaries are good, Virgo. It doesn't mean that you don't love this person and that you don't, support them. You don't want them to come. It's just you can't constantly be picking up the bill for everybody else. Awkward conversations about money, that's sort of what I mean. And then the same thing with like the loan or an application or something, or taxes. There's a different route or a different solution. I already kind of went over that, so I'm not going to harp on it too much more. In terms of work-wise, let's see. There might be a promotion in the works for some of you. Yeah, okay, I do like the looks of that. It felt like you were sort of being, I'm hearing the word like pigeonholing, like, I don't know how to phrase that correctly, but like pigeonholed, or sort of stuck in a role or in a project, in a job title, it could just be a short circumstance where, it wasn't great, but you kind of had to hang on for the better. Don't get too caught up in this isn't working, I want to leave, blah, 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 because and I'm only saying this because I see it. I'm not a big proponent of, if you're miserable, stay where you are. I'm never going to tell you to do that. I'm the wild card. I'm always like, shake it up, do something different. However, for a lot of you Virgos, if you stick it out a little bit longer, don't get too caught up in your Eight of Swords, like everything is terrible, everything is awful, my life is over. There's progress. To the King of Cups, it's like there's smooth sailing there. And the King of Cups to me can sometimes be the idea of like, what fills your cup, what fills your bank account, something lucrative. It's like the stream of income, the money flowing, right? There could be an opportunity where you're able to jump to a new title or get that promotion. And to the Three of Cups, to me, it's like, yeah, there's news and reason to celebrate. And maybe that's why some of you are being so generous with your money. Maybe that's going to make sense later. But yeah, I do see good things happening in the workplace, especially if you're coming from a place where they're not so great right now. That does change. For some of you, an ex might reach out, and it doesn't have to be a romantic ex. For most of you, I think it probably is. Again, Venus retrograde strikes, right? Yeah, a former colleague or a former lover, partner, whatever, might kind of sort of be hitting you up in your DMs or text or whatever, reach out to you. I don't know if I'm going to be honest, I don't love that energy. Because this person still doesn't know what they want. It's like they're probably single and lonely and missing you, and no offense, but it's also like, I think they're missing literally anyone. Like they just want someone in their bed. Do you know what I mean? I think there's a lot of like self-pitying for this person. And again, I don't mean to be rude or offend. Hopefully my cross watchers aren't going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that. But yeah, I feel like they're looking to fill a void. Yeah, the energy there is not great. I also think that if you are posting on social media about accomplishments, this person is seeing that, and it's almost like they want to taste that vibe. It's like they see that you're vibing high and that, whatever, you got the promotion, something good happened, yada, yada, yada. They're seeing that and they're like, oh, like I want a piece of what Virgo has, and like, they're in a good spot, so maybe they'll show me mercy. And like, I don't even know if consciously this person is thinking those things, but subconsciously that's what's going on. It's like, it's not that they're envious of you. I think they're going to congratulate you and be like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. But like, that's their little way of like, that's them trying to get in. That's them trying to like appeal to your softer, gentle side, who's, very forgiving and kind. And I just wouldn't. That's sort of my opinion there, Virgo. All right, let's get you a crystal card. For those who are into crystals, what crystal wants to come up for Virgo this month? Anything that could be helpful to them? Jasper for focus and protection. So Jasper is associated with the astrological sign of Leo, the month of March, and those ruled by fire. An active stone, Jasper lends drive and determination to all endeavors. It enhances concentration and promotes the flow of new ideas. A useful talisman for inviting focus and quieting a restless mind. So for those who are interested, and then we'll get you an oracle card too. Let's see. Let's do this. The Journey by Allison Felice. I like this deck a lot. It's cool art. I may have used it on your last reading. I don't remember. For Virgo placements. Any advice or guidance for Virgo? Interesting that I chose The Journey, and I do think some of you guys are going to go on a journey of sorts. A little trip, a little weekend getaway. Let's see. Follow your bliss. And I'm going to read from the book. Let's see. Follow your bliss is the breadcrumb trail that will lead you to your highest self and path. Following the little things that light you up will ensure that you are on your adventure and not someone else's. If someone's interest in you is meant for you, if something interests you, it is meant for you. Hello, Mercury retrograde. Sorry about that, guys. The journey isn't always joyful or easy. No great adventure is. But it is worthwhile because it's yours and it's true. There is beauty and wisdom in all seasons. Bliss is the true north of your compass. Follow it and you will be on your way. All right, Virgo, that's what I got for you for the month of September. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon for more tarot. Bye.